welcome back to another speed build. My name's Jess, and today I'm building in Tartosa on a 20 by 20 lot, and today's build is a renovated ice cream truck. So yeah, something very different for me, and I had so much fun with this build. It was really cool to try and look through the catalog and find different items that I thought made this look a little bit more like a vehicle. I've never done a build like this before, and so yeah, definitely did a lot of searching through the catalog and just had a little bit more fun being creative in this build and trying to figure things out along the way as I was building. So here on the top, I wanted to make like a little vent like you see in like RVs and things like that, just to again try and make this look a little bit more like a realistic ice cream truck or just truck in general. And not just a box, because this obviously is mostly a box. So one thing that really helped with that was adding in all the signage, and I had a lot of fun putting in the different signs, and we have the perfect items to make an ice cream truck. It's kind of crazy. And I will say that's supposed to be, the neon sign is supposed to be a cupcake, but all I see is an ice cream cone. So I think it works really well for this build. And of course, adding in the tires, and I used the seat from the new Werewolf pack, and that worked so perfectly because the trailer that you usually use to try and do like trailer type builds, it wouldn't fit on how small this build is. So yeah, they worked out perfectly. And you can see I'm adding in some fencing from Outdoor Retreat, and I really like how this looked, and I wanted to sort of separate out each section of this build and kind of make it look like it was a campsite. That was kind of my idea that people had, or Sims had moved permanently into. And so like there is some landscaping, actually there's quite a bit of landscaping that they had done, but it's also still kind of overgrown and like settles into the world pretty nicely. So for the next little while, I will be landscaping. So I hope you're doing well today and staying cool. I know not everywhere in the world it's summer, but where I am, it is summer, and it finally feels like summer. It's very hot today, and I'm just trying to stay cool as I'm doing this voiceover. I can't have the fan on, so I'm definitely getting a little hot, but that's totally okay, totally worth it. But you can see still just working on all the different landscaping. I had a lot of fun placing all this down. I mention all the time, I do actually enjoy the more monotonous parts of building, just because you don't have to think too much and put down all these pretty plants that make everything look just a little bit more realistic. I like landscaping is the most satisfying but also most difficult part of a build for me, just because it finally makes like this house sit into the world and makes the lot feel full. And yeah, it's always exciting to see it come together. And of course I saved the trees for the end just because I didn't want them blocking it too much. And now in every build I want to add in the wild rabbit home and the bird home, just because as you're playing, having the rabbits and birds flying around and running around is so cute. So I just have to do it every time. It was so cute when I was playtesting this to see them all running around, and I thought it just looked so perfect in this sort of like outdoor campsite space. So now you can see we're working on the inside, and I kept it all very simple. I wanted to make it look like there was a little like front section, but obviously it's not accessible. And I had some trouble with trying to put in the kind of quote steering wheel, but I was able to figure it out. Tool mod just kind of was weird for a second. I'm sure it was me and not tool mod. But yeah, I wanted to keep this super pastel, keeping with the sort of ice cream theme, and so I used all the pastel colors I could find, and I had so much fun. And this actually is a build that I did for the high school pack. I thought this would be a cool place for like a teenager to live if you wanted them to, or like a cool place for teenagers to hang out. but I ended up hardly using any items from the new pack just because I had built this ahead of time and I really liked how it turned out. So I didn't want to make too many changes. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. One of the only items I used was like the bullhorn at the top of the build to make it look like there was music playing through it. Like, you know, a classic ice cream truck always has. Yeah, and that's like one of the only things I used. So, you know, I'll use more in the future, but I went ahead and built this little custom computer area, and I think that turned out so cute. I'm so happy with that, and I went ahead and changed the light. So we're actually coming to the end of the build, so I want to thank you so much for watching and supporting my little channel here on YouTube. Hopefully you enjoyed this build today. You can download it at the gallery. My origin ID is SimmeredJess. Have a great day. Bye.